I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh no, not another person coming out," but uh, well, it is. I don't know why my ears are so red, and I know my curtains. I really don't know what the fuck is up with them, but this is something that I've been wanting to say to you guys for a very long time. And before I even get into the video, I want to establish that I know I'm not the biggest person on the internet. I know I'm not the biggest following and stuff like that, but I really love making content. I love social media. I love everything about it, and it's a really big part of my life. So I feel like I need to be 100% with you guys as what goes on in my life or who I am, and I'm not being 100% with you guys. This is something that I should be doing. I feel like I need to be doing this, and I just haven't been. So, as you can already tell by the title, I'm transgender. I'm FtM transgender, which means female to male, which means that I used to be female. I used to live as a female. And I know this is going to be hard for some people to understand. I know some people already know what it is. And I know some people kind of know what it is, but they don't. And that's why I'm making this video. And I'm making it because I also just want you guys to know. I'm going to give you a little history and background and stuff so you can get a better understanding of what trans is and how I went through things and stuff like that. But again, it's really, really brief because it's a really long story. Up until the age 16, I lived as a female. So at the age of 16, I transitioned into Sam. I matched my body with my brain, and I got my hair cut and all that stuff, changed my name at age 16. And keep in mind I'm 20, so this is only 4 years ago. It really feels like so much longer, but it was only 4 years ago. Now, between ages 1 and 16, you guys don't know me. You guys don't know anything that happened during this time period. You only know 16 and 20. If you're confused, I'm going to try to clear it up for you. Let's say ages 1 to 8. I just knew that I was very different. I knew that I didn't like girl things. I knew that I didn't like girl toys, girl dresses, just anything that you can think of that's female I really didn't like. And you know, that's kind of a normal thing for girls to do. Like, girls can be tomboys, but they're still girls. Well, not me. But it was kind of a blur to me, those ages. I just did whatever I did. So ages 8 to 12, it started to get a little worse. I started to feel very weird and different from everybody, and I just looked in the mirror and hated what I saw. I hated what I saw. I looked in the mirror and that wasn't me. That isn't who I am. And when I did turn 12 though, it started to get worse. I started having these really weird feelings. Like, I really felt that I was a boy. In my head I was like, am I fucked up? Am I messed up? Like, why do I feel this way? Why can't I just be normal? Why did this happen to me? Why do I feel like this? And it was just I felt trapped. I felt like I was trapped in my body. And it's a really very confusing thing for people to understand. It's very confusing for us to understand too in the beginning when you really don't know what it is. Ages 12 to 15, I was just very, very depressed and very negative. I really, honestly, didn't want to be here. I thought that I was weird. I thought that I was gross because I knew at these ages, I knew that I wanted to be a boy and I really felt like a boy. And I just thought it was the weirdest thing. And I thought that it was not normal. And I thought, like, I really didn't know why I felt like this. And I hated it so much. And I hated myself so much. I was like, wow, why can't I just be normal? Why can't I do that? Why can't I do this? Why do I feel this way? Why am I so weird and gross and stuff? And it's a very shitty feeling. It's a very shitty feeling, especially when people don't understand. Being transgender is a lot like this. It's like looking at the color red. Okay, pretend you're looking at the color red. And there's 10 other people looking at the color red. And then you see it as blue. You're looking at red, but you actually see it as blue. And everyone around you sees it as red, but you're like, no, it's blue. And then everyone else is like, no, clearly that's red. I don't know what you're saying. That's what I know it's a weird analogy, but this is really how it feels. You're like, no, I'm not a girl. And they're like, well, clearly you are. And you're like, no, I'm not. And it's just so shitty. So, again, ages 12 to 15, I started to figure out what transgender was. I read some posts about it, and I was like, what is this? This is exactly what I am. And I stayed up countless nights. So many nights, like, just Googling it and going on forums and asking people, like, how do you come out to your family and your friends? Like, this is a very hard thing to do. So eventually I came out to my mom. I wouldn't say she didn't accept it. She just kind of disregarded it for a little bit in the beginning because she didn't understand it. She was confused and she was probably scared. My cousin and my aunt talked to her and they said, hey, look, you should probably start supporting Sam with this. It's not going to go away. This is real and stuff like that. And my mom eventually started understanding and she started looking things up. She started researching and all that stuff. And I was really happy. So when I was 16, I finally got my hair cut. And it was probably the best feeling in the world. I actually, when I came home and I looked in the mirror, I still remember that day. I was really, really happy. And I don't want to get emotional in here. It's not my intention, but I just it was just a great feeling. You know, when you look in the mirror and you're happy with what you see, it's a really good feeling. Just got better from there for the most part. Definitely got better. But still, even after I transitioned, I really didn't like myself, and I really hid myself from the world for a very long time and hid who I was because I was ashamed of myself and I didn't really feel comfortable. But just this year, I started feeling comfortable. And that's why I wanted to tell you guys. I know a lot of you might be saying, you used to be a girl? How is your voice so deep? How do you look like that? All that stuff. I mean, my face has always pretty much looked like this, but I do take hormones because a lot of trans people do. I take testosterone, which is the male hormone, which basically gives me a deep voice and facial hair and just it's a long list, but I've been taking it for almost 3 years now, and all I have to do is inject myself weekly with the hormone, and that's what I have to do. I take that, and I had surgery. That's why I have a flat chest. Before I end this video, I do want to say it started getting easier telling people. I started telling people I was transgendered. I told one of my closest friends, and it was really hard for me at first. I was super upset. I was crying and stuff like that because it's a normal thing. I never came out to anyone like that before, and he was in shock, but he accepted me. So I was like, okay, well, that's cool. And then I think the second person I told was my girlfriend. I have a girlfriend. I had the biggest crush on this girl. It was like the biggest crush, and I really, really liked her. And I didn't date people because I just thought this was a barrier. You know, some people think that it's a barrier, and I did because some people won't date a trans person. You know, it's all preference, and it's totally understandable. Like, she liked me, and I liked her. She's like, why won't you date me? I was like, because, and I wouldn't give her a reason. So eventually, I came out to her, and it was easier this time. It was easier to tell her, and she's like, Sam, I still like you. I still feel the same way. It doesn't matter to me. And that really did get me. I was like, okay, well, now a girl likes me even though she knows. I was like, okay. And then I started telling my friends, my other close friends who live in other different states and stuff when I go to visit them because I travel a lot. And I told them, and they were very proud of me. And just, it's overwhelming when you really think people aren't going to accept you, and they do. There's always going to be people who don't accept you. For the most part, my whole entire family accepts me. Except for just a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's like, you can't even respect me, you know? You don't talk to them, that's all. Some people, you just gotta cut them out of your life. I don't know, that's what I did. Before I go, again, another question that I've seen on a lot of people's things, and a lot of people's videos or whatever, girls will comment and say, I think, let's take me for example, now you know that I'm trans. They'll be like, I think you're hot, but you're trans. Does that mean that I'm a lesbian? Does that mean that I'm bisexual? No. It doesn't. It means that you are straight. You like a guy. Clear, like, if you look at me, I'm a guy. Two people I want to thank before I go would definitely have to be Gigi Gorgeous and Connor Franta. First of all, Gigi is super, she's so cute. She's just really brave with everything I've seen. I've watched her videos in the past, and it inspired me, basically, to make this video, because seeing someone so brave who's basically the same as you, it inspires you. I can't explain the feeling. It just makes me feel really good to see that people support her and she's confident in herself. Thank you to Gigi. And the second person, I said Connor Franta, because he came out in 2014. Although he's gay, it was still a coming out video, but it was really powerful to me. I thought that it was very, very inspiring. At that moment, I just wanted to come out and tweet it, but obviously I didn't because I'm making this video. So thank you, Connor Franta. If you have any questions at all any questions at all, you can comment them down below. I'll answer them. If they're not ignorant, I really don't know who's going to see this video. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of negativity, if it's going to be a lot of positivity. I really don't know. But whatever it is, I am ready for it. So if you guys have questions, I'll answer them down below, or I could even make a whole video. Depends what the question is. That's what I had to tell you guys. That's what I had to tell you. So I love you guys, and I will see you next Sunday.